Yeah, you'd better get moving there, Overlord. You can't sit on your butt when there's epic music like that. Actually, that brings up an interesting question. Do Overlords ever actually land and sit down? Or do they just float their whole lives? I mean, you gotta think a Mutalisk would land at some point. But an Overlord? I'm not so sure. Anyways, this game was recommended to me, so I promised to check it out. It plays out on Eternal Empire, and it involves two excellent European players. Okay, so the Overlord has legs. I just kind of suggest he might use them. Anywho, it's a depot at the top of the ramp for our Terran player, followed by racks. And it will be a hatch first for our Zerg player. Alright, let's go ahead and introduce our Terran player. Hailing from France and sponsored by Coca Authentique Pepite. He's not Marine Baron or Marine Duke, he is MarineLorD!
Current world rank 44.
There's that gas, all early signs point to a Reaper expand. And here's our extractor pool for our Zerg player. Guys, it's 2020. Can we please stop using ordinary analog lasers? Use an Elazer!
Current world rank 20.
Now, I personally have a very soft spot for Elazer, just because he was one of the pros in the very first game I ever got up the courage to cast. So yeah, he has a special place in my heart. And just because there's a lot of dust in my eye, doesn't mean I'm not going to see MarineLorD putting down his CC. So far, everything is unfolding exactly as it should be. MarineLorD's going to finish up his orbital, and we should witness the calling down of the first mule, which, if everything goes to plan, should be landing just before the Zerg natural completes. It's a beautiful geyser of eggplant, and we see that Elazer is going to go for 2 queens and 2 lings. The Reaper is already out on the map. MarineLorD's not going to keep it at home. He's either going to try to harass or get some scouting in. He does go immediately to that reactor, skipping that extra Marine we so often see these days. Elazer starts up ling speed, and he is going to be adding additional lings. He's timing them to pop just as that Reaper arrives, delaying that expenditure as long as humanly possible. Or I guess I should say, as long as Zergly possible. Our first micro battle breaks out, but it's going to be a short one, because that queen's almost here. That 39-second rush distance on Eternal Empire really makes it hard. Harder for Terran, easier for Zerg to get that initial queen out. So there's no drone or ling kills so far, but MarineLorD gets a pretty good idea that Elazer's playing him straight up. And that has value in itself. Oh, I like this. Elazer's trying to set up a trap in his main. The queen is way off creep. She's hoping to drive that Reaper upstairs. MarineLorD knows he can't see where the lings are. He's got to be a little bit suspicious. A second queen is going to come back downstairs. That's going to make it hard for the Reaper to get at the drone line. Oh, and look at this. The queen's going to poop a creep tumor in a hidden location behind the debris. That's going to be really difficult for the Reaper to get at. Back at home, MarineLorD's almost done his factory, and he's adding a pair of reactored Marines for defense. A huge round of drones for Elazer. He's actually going lighter on queens in favor of additional economy. And back at the Terran Ranch, it's not a reactor switch, it's a reactor donation. MarineLorD is using his barracks to get sight of that Overlord. He sees it, and his Marines are going to try to corner it. He's pinned it in, there's nowhere for that Overlord to run to. It's just going to stand there and become our first blood. You know, we've been seeing a lot of innocent Overlords turning into first blood these days. I think the Society for Defenseless Overlords should have something to say about this. And there's no sympathy from Elazer. He just coldly puts down his third, grabs his second gas, and starts up his hive tech. No baneling nest, no roach warren. Elazer's definitely got a corner-cutting strategy going on here. It may or may not pay off for him. Meanwhile, MarineLorD's landed his racks, started up reactored Hellions, and has completed a starport, to which he will add a tech lab, and MarineLorD has put down a fast fusion core. We are going to be seeing battle cruisers. Elazer has gone back to add a baneling nest, but that's not going to help him against BCs. Oh, nice double tumor snipe. It's always better for Terran if they can keep that Reaper alive to this phase of the game. The real worrisome thing for Elazer right now is he's gone light on his queen production. He's only got 4 right now, but he did just put down a spire. That is another way to skin the battle cruising cat. I was starting to worry he was going to straight up die because there is a second starport. I'm not sure what the minimum number of queens is to handle double BC production, but it's more than 4. But Corruptors could really help him hold. The Spire completion's a long ways away, but the battlecruiser production is not yet started. A battlecruiser takes 64 seconds to build, a Spire takes 71 seconds. Plus, I guess you also need time to build a Corruptor. Oh, Lings race right down the ramp and go at the harass. They get the Reaper! They're going to work on the Hellions! MarineLorD was not ready for them to dart down the ramp. The Lings get one of the Hellions. A very nice trade for Elazer, especially if you back out the cost of that Overlord he lost at the start of the game. Now that MarineLorD knows there's a bunch of Lings out on the map, he's gonna hurriedly finish his wall for his natural. Elazer's morphed an Overseer. He's gonna try to get the intel on the tech. But MarineLorD has positioned his Marines perfectly. He's gonna drive it off. Elazer's gonna completely miss the double battlecruiser production and the Yamato cannon research. What he's gonna see, or what he thinks he's seeing, is that Terran is quietly taking a third base. He's gonna make a single blind spore in his main for protection, but he's gonna dump his money into making 7 Mutalisks. Not exactly Corruptors, but a skilled Zerg can use that to hold off battlecruisers. And unlike Corruptors, Mutalisks have that offensive harassment potential. I mean, we've definitely seen battlecruisers held off with mutas before. It's just not something I can do. Anyways, the first battlecruiser is out, and Terran is also making Widow Mines now. Elazer's finishing off his Baneling speed, but he's also upgrading his flyer attack. The mutas are flocking up, and they're just in time. They're gonna get an interception on the first battlecruiser. Elazer's lucky he didn't go for a tactical jump. Elazer has to rotate out his injured mutas. That's so hard to do. Unlike other units, they flow over top of each other. Picking them out requires this ungodly precision. The second battlecruiser arrives. Has Elazer figured out that he's dealing with 2 starports? Or does he think it was produced from the same facility? Double armories for MarineLorD. He's getting into the upgrade business as well. MarineLorD's actually got the worker lead. He's up 15. That does not bode well for the Zerg. MarineLorD's muling on top of that, so it's no surprise that he's pulling in more minerals than the Zerg. What Elazer does have right now is the bigger army. He's got to find a way to do something with it. Otherwise, this game spirals out of control. Oh, MarineLorD decides to do a public announcement that he now has Yamato cannons. I think Elazer's mutas kind of got the message. They seem to be taking notes. Ah, this is what I'm talking about. This is how Elazer can get back in here. He needs to kill some Terran workers badly. He can't be down economically and expect to go toe-to-toe with battlecruisers with mutas. And MarineLorD's even preparing his 4th. So is Elazer. That rich gas geyser could really help him out with the production of those expensive air units. Hellions look to see if they can shut it down, but the mutas are there. Oh, the Hellions were bait for the BCs. More Yamato shots. Every Zerg always tries to pull back when they see those, but you cannot dodge those. Once the shot's loose, the range is ridiculous. The Queens are here to help. Elazer needs to force those tactical jumps. It's frustrating that he's not getting the kills, but he needs to survive. Elazer's throwing all of his money into speedlings right now. Oh, he's gonna try to counter with overwhelming numbers. This is so awesome. This is the swarm at its finest. Oh, but the BCs that have jumped back home are there to defend. It is fish in a barrel for those BCs. Oh, this is like the movie Aliens. Elazer's like looking to make him run out of ammo or overheat. Actually, he's flying in his mutas to see if he can finish off some of those injured battlecruisers. Those Lings may be dying, but they're grabbing SCVs as they go down. Whoa, 30 SCV kills. Elazer has completely flipped the script on the economy. Apparently Zerglings are the counter to battlecruisers. But Elazer has read this very well. Any player who rushes to battlecruisers is unlikely to have a lot of defense at home. Elazer has done the damage he needs to keep himself in this game. It's now MarineLorD who's left scrambling to clean it up. Terran is definitely getting a handle on that, but while he's doing that, Elazer is switching to Corruptors. I know with the visual it looks like the battlecruiser just shoots one weapon, but it actually has 2, one for air and one for ground. The battlecruiser's air-to-air weapon actually does less damage. Oh, here comes a Muta stealth raid. Oh! Oh my goodness, Elazer pulled that back! How did he see the Widow Mines? I didn't even see them and they're invisible to him. Mental note for the replay. I'm not sure what I just saw there. That was crazy. So MarineLorD is getting a handle on his defense here, but he really has been pinned in at home. And the aforementioned Corruptors have now begun to rally. But it's far from over for MarineLorD. He's about to have 7 battle cruisers. That's a lot of Yamato cannon. Once you hit that critical mass, Zerg really can't deal with you. At some point, Zerg has to have infestors. They need the fungal growth and the neural parasite. You can't brute force a better brute force. But I'm not so sure MarineLorD's at that tipping point yet. He's doing a fabulous job of trying to recover his SCVs, though. He's been cranking them out 4 at a time pretty consistently. That is a nasty-looking spread of BCs. He's got 1-1 for them, too. This injured fawn was separated from the herd. The Zerg pack surrounded it for the kill. Attention base, we got a trio of rollies spotted at 3 o'clock. Roger that. Commence the attack on the natural. Oh, we got a lot happening at once. Elazer pulls his air force back to defend. Banelings are sneaking into the Terran third. They are in. It's a target-rich environment. Oh! 10 kills and so many more in the red. Meanwhile, there are lings in the main and in the natural. I love this. MarineLorD uses his tactical jumps to pull his injured battlecruisers out to deal with the lings. It's a perfect repositioning. Oh, Blue Flame finishes up just in time for the Terran. He needed that. I know it's only +5 extra damage against light on paper, but it makes a huge difference in practical reality terms. Oh, Elazer's gonna pick up a 5th base behind this. Oh, MarineLorD's added in a Cyclone. That's a good idea. He could use some more of those. They are so good against Corruptors once they have that Magfield Accelerator. No, Elazer wants to get into the upgrade game. He's making double Evos now. He's certainly got the economy to diversify his army. He's got 84 drones now. MarineLorD is going to get that Magfield Accelerator. Maybe he'll want more than one Cyclone to go with it. But perhaps his attention is focused on trying to secure that 4th base. It's a tricky one. It's wide open, and the Zerg is loath to let the Terran have it. Elazer's been enjoying the benefits of his rich gas geyser for some time now. It's let him get that big air army, and he's about to get +2 attack for it, so it's going to get even nastier. MarineLorD may wish to mule hammer that mineral line as soon as possible. Oh, Elazer's just popping up bases everywhere. He's just planted his 6th. MarineLorD's Hellion patrol is about to find it, though. He is making more Cyclones, by the way. These players are always ahead of me. The Mutas are going to try to pounce on the Hellions. The lone Cyclone will be their defense. Assuming you don't count the 7 battle cruisers behind it, but I mean, why would you? Oh, huge clash here. Who's got this? MarineLorD does. He's forcing the Zerg back. No, he's not convinced himself. He's pulling back as well. He doesn't want to overextend. The battlecruiser that hyper jumped out of there. He's gonna kill an overseer. I think we just hit that calm before the storm moment. Our players have stopped attacking and are rebuilding their armies. Well, except for maybe that huge stream of lings that maybe didn't get the memo. That's the problem with peace treaties. There's always some Zergling that thinks he's above the law. 7 banelings morphing on the right-hand side yet again. 68 worker kills for Elazer so far. In fact, the vast majority of his kills have all been SCVs so far. MarineLorD's trying to get down that 4th, and here come the banelings. Oh, a Zergling shuts down that 4th by getting the SCV. Here come the Banes. Oh, I can't look. I lie. Not only am I gonna look, I'm gonna zoom in. Ooh, yeah. That would be 12 kills in a blink of an eye. Make it 14. 3 very wounded SCVs limp back. Oh, I think MarineLorD appreciates that the peace treaty's officially over. He rolls right onto the creep looking for revenge. He's got the Cyclones now that he can push back the Mutas. I like it. I really do. Oh, the cleanup lings at the 3rd cracked another 6, 7 SCVs, 8. Elazer's doing so much damage with just a handful of lings. MarineLorD's gonna kill that westernmost expansion, but here come the Banes! I'm not sure how efficient that was, but it was very effective. But there's just not enough of that air army left to deal with those battle cruisers. Or maybe somebody better tell that to Elazer, because he seems to be doing just fine. The Cyclones are not the difference maker that I thought they would be. The lings have dealt with them. The battle cruisers have won the skirmish, but there's only 2 left. The rest have been sent home for repair. MarineLorD has been a supreme environmentalist this game. He keeps recycling those injured battle cruisers. He is doing his part to fight climate change on Eternal Empire. And the exhaust emissions on those battle cruisers is a lot lower than you'd expect. I mean, seriously, has anybody ever done a study on the amount of CO2 produced by an ultralisk? I mean, if you want to talk about atmospheric gas, that is where you start. Oh, that is so annoying. The Lings won't let the CZ land. There needs to be some kind of an upgrade called Crush, where the command center can just land and squash everything beneath it. Definitely have some Crimson Zone potential here. 430 kills so far. A lot of Lings have been given their lives in this battle. An infestation pit is going down for Elazer. I think he's starting to figure out that MarineLorD is fully committed to these battle cruisers. He's actually just finished off his +3 vehicle plating. The battle cruiser has more starting armor than any other unit in the game. When it has all its armor upgrades, it can really take a hit. Oh, and the repair roadies are coming out with the BCs this time. This is serious. There's a bunch of Widow Mines leading the way too. They could really clear out some of that Zerg air defense. Elazer needs to catch those Widow Mines when they're not set. Oh, forget that idea. They've just taken up position on the ramp. There we go. MarineLorD's going to spread them out. You don't want them all hitting the same target. He drops the scan and readies the attack. Elazer's hurriedly trying to get his Banelings to morph. Oh, MarineLorD goes for the hatch instead. Here come the Banelings. They're rolling in. The Hellions retreat and pull the Banelings into the Widow Mines. Oh, that was carnage. Yamatos are going down. It's a trap, though. MarineLorD wants to bait him back into those Widow Mines. He's going to try it. Elazer's going in. It's going to work. That's the Crimson Zone, people. Elazer actually saved his Air Force. He threw his Lings in there to take the hit. I don't know if that was luck or planned, but he saved his Corruptors. Took the hit on those cheap Lings, an efficient way to go. Oh, and look at this, more Ling heroics. Zergling mine detection. Let's see if he can do this. The mines are just about reloaded. And... oh, he peeled one off. And a 4 Lings to reveal 4 mines. That was great. Well, that's an Overseer who's out of a job. That was really, really cool. I mean, like, wow. Elazer's got advanced degrees in dealing with Widow Mines. He knew he needed exactly 4 Lings to do that. MarineLorD responds by powering. He's going to add 2 command centers and 2 more factories. And he knows he just has to have a fortress on the east side of his base. Otherwise, he can't deal with those Banelings. Terran may have 5 bases, but Zerg has 8. Elazer's now claimed every base on his side of the map. We're 17 and a half minutes in, and I still don't know for sure who's got this game. I mean, Elazer's kind of got the map at this point. But as long as MarineLorD still has that critical mass of battle cruisers, I'm not sure how Zerg deals with it. I thought Elazer was going to try for infestors there, but it looks like he's going to max out on mutas and corruptors. And just keep making hatches like they're going out of style. For the record though, hatches never go out of style. They are the pinnacle of fashion. You can ask any fashionista from Paris, they will tell you that. Okay, Elazer's just pulling in an insane amount of money right now. He's got over 100 workers. In a way, his Zerglings are practically free at this point. He should absolutely be throwing them at MarineLorD like he's doing. They don't have to get any kills, just the attention damage alone, the distraction value. Keep your opponent's map flashing in 7 different spots. When you're in a game that's gone on for 18 minutes, you're actually causing your opponent cerebral pain. Though to be honest, he's actually causing digital pain. MarineLorD's lost another 20 SCVs. And is he actually going to get that planetary fortress? The Banelings oh, they did get it! It was so low, 3 Zerglings finished it off. MarineLorD just needed a slightly bigger SCV hug and he could have saved that. Things are starting to go south for MarineLorD. He's lost the resource war and now he's starting to lose the supply war. Terran's trying to expand to the west, but the mutas are on it. The battle cruisers are in the vicinity. Can they fight off the flock? Oh, he does not want to lose another base. He's not going to be in time. Oh, the BCs are here. But the command center, it's on fire. He needs an SCV. It's a mule drop for the repair. That's brilliant. The command center's hit points were literally down to the 30s. The slightest tap from that mutaflog would have done it. MarineLorD is hanging on by a thread, but what an impressive thread it is. Elazer's army is actually totally decimated. He's got a really robust supply, but it's all drones. Elazer's not trying to build a mineral bank, but it's hard to spend that much money that fast. If this keeps up, there might be a way that MarineLorD could win one big decisive battle and then push from there. Oh my god, the command center's still on fire. Somebody save that thing! He's not allowed to lose it after that dramatic mule save. Okay, he's got it. Elazer's picking up the crackling upgrade. That's a great move for him. He's got so much minerals he can pump lings like rain. Oh, sweet Widow Mine hit. It forces Elazer to pull back. He's uncertain what's lurking out there. And the truth is, not very much. Zerg's gonna get this command center, but it's already mined out. MarineLorD's gonna try to save it. This battlecruiser squad just does not give up. Do you like Japanese food? Eat Yamato! Yamato so fat she can't fit through the door. You say tomato, I say Yamato. Okay, forget the terrible jokes. We got a serious wave of banelings coming. It's not gonna be death by crackling at all. It's death by baneling. You'd think if you built a fortress you'd be safe. But I guess it had a small thermal exhaust port, only 2 meters wide. Okay, here come the crackling. MarineLorD's countering, by the way. He's dropped Elazer's drone count down to 98. MarineLorD's decided he can't just keep defending. He's got to generate some offense if he's going to somehow survive this game. But if he doesn't defend, Elazer's just going to tear him apart. Oh, this clash is critical. MarineLorD has to win this. He has to. And he's driven off the mutas. Elazer will be back, though. And he's going to be finally caught up on attack upgrades. Oh, our boxers are just trading punches now. Nobody's defending. Could it be? Well, we'll see. It's probably too early to call this a base race. It looks like MarineLorD wants one. Always a good call for a Terran. But I'm not sure that Elazer has to play ball. He can probably do both, defend and attack. Look how quickly those lings have ripped down that 1500 hit point command center. Maybe not as fast as those battlecruisers ripped down a 1500 hit point hatchery. MarineLorD stopped making SCVs. He's at 0. He's not pulling in any money. He is now all in on this base race. Elazer has said, let's do this. His air force has joined the attack. If he can keep that fortress alive, he might be able to mule himself some money. MarineLorD's ripping into the Zerg third. Oh, the Terran efficiency is incredible. If he can just keep the Zerg busy at his fortress long enough, it might be possible. Never mind. And there's a single ling going to work on that command center. MarineLorD cuts into the Zerg natural. He's killing the tech. The Spire is down. But Elazer's come back to defend. Does he have enough, though? MarineLorD's got a much bigger army. He drives the Zerg off. Elazer has lost some valuable base racing time. But what he has been doing is he has been expanding. Zerg is slowing the rate of building loss by making more. Whoa, the Zerg main is a ghost town. Elazer's trying to rebuild his tech. He's going to do it from scratch, but on the south side of the map. There's 2,500 hit points on a hive, which means it takes a full 2 blinks of an eye for the battlecruisers to focus it down. Elazer had this game, but now he is in trouble. One badly injured battlecruiser has jumped home to defend. Really, if his job is to blast away at lings, he only needs a single hit point. The slow mobility of the battlecruisers could be an issue for MarineLorD. He can crush any of Elazer's bases, but he has to actually get to it. Elazer's cleaned out the defense at the third, and it will fall. Terran's down to his main and natural. 5 quasi-bases left for the Zerg. Soon it's about to be 4. This is so close, people. Find something solid and hold on. Elazer's found MarineLorD's tech rebuild location. He's like, seriously? You took my rich gas geyser? The Zerg Air Force is gonna withdraw. MarineLorD's significantly supply blocked, by the way. He cannot make another SCV, which means he cannot make another building. His only hope is to rip every Zerg structure off the map. And he seems to be doing a pretty good job of it. Elazer's lost his Spire for the 2nd time. He's gonna remake it for the 3rd. This is a good strat for Elazer. He's putting his buildings in the opposite corners of the map. He wants to maximize the amount of time the battlecruisers have to travel. Elazer has reached the Terran main. This game will not be going on much longer. I think we're gonna see the original victory condition of this game. Elimination of all your opponent's structures. Creep tumors do not count. The mutas are going to work. Oh! MarineLorD lifts off all 6 factories. He sends them on an exodus northwards. Elazer's corruptors are gonna go to work. Liftoff is a huge Terran advantage in a base race, but not so much when your opponent's primarily air. I can't remember the last time I saw that many floating hit points. This is a massive migration, a potent pilgrimage, an excellent exodus. Wait, I already did that one. We're watching the structures tab now. Terran has so many more than the Zerg, but they are falling. MarineLorD has found the Zerg's final hatch. He's working on one more, but it has to be complete to count. Elazer's down to 19 drones. MarineLorD's superior sojourn is just about eliminated. Oh, and Elazer throws on a contaminant on one of the factories just for the heck of it. Did you get points for style in a base race? This is crazy awesome. Elazer's got 3 extractors, that's it. The battlecruisers are coming to save the final 2 factories. This is it. This is for all the marbles. Elazer withdraws. If he can guard those factories, he could have this. But they are on fire and can't be saved. One's burnt down. MarineLorD is on the clock. His last factory won't last. There goes his fusion core. 1 orbital and 1 starport. That's all he's got left. The mutas have found the CC. They've found the starport. Elazer's got this. He's got nothing but extractors and 11 drones, but he's got this. The factory's got 85 hit points and falling. There's the tactical jump to save the command center, but it's already in the red. It's gone. MarineLorD is just 2 seconds late. The elimination condition is about to kick in. Zerg's hatchery is completed. He's actually starting to recover. There's the GG. MarineLorD has to pack it in, even though his army's twice the size of the Zerg. What a cool and very cerebral game that was. I was not steered wrong on this one. I think we've easily just witnessed a top 10 game of the year. Oh man, so much to say about this game. First things first, I gotta re-show you a scene that looks like it's not much of anything. Watch Elazer's mutas here as they duck in and then duck out. They're hovering, they know the battle cruisers are out of position because of the lings, so they dart in for the natural and then suddenly pull back. Why? Because Elazer can see invisible widow mines. Let's look at that again, but with Elazer's vision turned on. It's fascinating. One possibility is that he's that trained that he actually sees the burrowing smudge of the widow mine. But MarineLorD's hid that within the shadow of the extractor. He pulls his mutas back in the exact moment he's being targeted. But Elazer knows that trick, and when he sees that split-second flash of the widow mine, he pulls his mutas back and saves them. Now watch it zoomed in. You'll see with Elazer's vision, you can still see that tiny impact crater where the mine is. But only if you're like a crazy savant or you've played a million games of Starcraft. And Elazer kind of ticks both those boxes. So maybe that was it, or it was that micro flash. I want to get a freeze frame of that so you can see what I mean. So here it is at 9 minutes and 25 seconds. We are on Elazer's vision, but we can also see the widow mines. Why? Because they are firing. Their targeting lines are on, but the mutas pull out of range. I'm not so sure this is a micro moment so much as it is a micro mystery. Now, for your edification, you can mess around with the graphics settings and increase your chances of seeing your opponent's buried mines. You don't see that here because I've got everything cranked on the highest setting possible. Here at Zugzwang Starcraft, we only want to show you the most beautiful of Starcraft footage. Which is a good reason to subscribe, by the way. It's rare to find ultra-high definition games these days. My point is, though, I'd really like to know what graphics settings Elazer's using for his shaders. And, since we're talking widow mines and Elazer, I know you want to see this again. Here's the Zergling Mine Detection Patrol. The fact that Elazer has exactly 4 lings out for 4 mines tells us that he can see those hidden mines. I'll show you this from Elazer's vision after, but let me just enjoy this first. A widow mine costs 100 resources, a Zergling only 25. So he nets 75 resources over his opponent every time he pulls this off. But how you have the APM and attention to spare in a battle like this is beyond me. Okay, here we are with Elazer's vision. And since we're on an open ramp, we have a better chance of actually seeing those impact crater smudges for the Widow Mines. And you can also see that brief moment before the Widow Mine fires. Elazer has to use that to separate a Ling. So I'm not going to wimp out this time. I'm going to award him a certified micro moment. But I'm going to do better than that. I'm going to officially rename this ramp on the map Eternal Empire Elazer's Ramp. That's right. Whenever you're playing and your units go over this particular ramp on Eternal Empire, you will now know that you are on Elazer's Ramp. Okay, enough fawning over the Widow Mines. Let me say something about the base race. Kudos to MarineLorD for forcing a base race here. In my view, if this game was played normally, he was going to inevitably lose that game. His economy was just too far behind. Base racing turned the game into a coin flip, albeit a very exciting coin flip. Normally, all things being equal, Terran is considered the best base race. Hey, there's a tongue twister there. Best base race. Anyway, why? Because Terran can lift off their buildings. Late game, they have a ton of production facilities, likely more so than any other race. They can lift off their buildings. Stimmed Bio has one of the highest DPSs, and it's also at the same time one of the most mobile combos in the game. That's deadly. Terran can lift off their buildings. Also, Terran can drop scans to quickly hunt for hidden structures. Once their SCVs are ripped apart, they can always just call down mules. And did I mention they can lift off their buildings? Conversely, look at the Zerg. Zerg is probably the weakest base racing race. While Zerg is very mobile, which is important, because of their centralized hatch production system, they just don't have a lot of structures, and that's pretty important too. But almost none of anything I just said actually applied to this game. That's what made it so cool. Elazer didn't give a flying Finland that MarineLorD could lift off his buildings. Elazer's army was predominantly air, so lifting off buildings just let him bring his corruptors to bear even faster. MarineLorD did not have a fast-moving bio ball. He had the opposite, battle cruisers, one of the slowest units in the game. Elazer had speedlings with the crackling upgrade. If you want to talk DPS, put 20 of those on a command center and see how much damage they can do. And lastly, Elazer had built so many hatchers and extractors, he was actually caught up on the number of buildings by the time the base race started. Now, just for the record, Protoss is sort of the wild card in any base race. Their pylon power vulnerability means they usually get hurt faster in a base race than any other race. But with Recall, TOS sort of has the ability to call off a base race at any time. They're sort of the anti-base race. So they'll only keep racing you if they think they're winning. Anywho, thanks to Elazer and MarineLorD for a great game. I'm going to bask in that one for a while. To continue your Starcraft journey, Nova advises you to click the video in the upper rectangle. But Kerrigan warns you to watch your 6 and click the video in the bottom rectangle. Or you can stimpack your Starcraft experience. Subscribe to Zugzwang Starcraft. Just hit the circle. From my base to yours, Zugzwang out.